What's up, people? Welcome to What the Fuck Wednesday, our weekly live stream and relationship advice and dating advice show, and life advice and work advice and friend advice and sibling advice. We just cover all kind of interpersonal relationships. If you want to submit a question for this show for an upcoming broadcast, right on the screen, you'll see Debsterism.com. That's where you go. Look on the nav bar and click the button that says Get Advice. Fill out the form and press send. Otherwise, you can also look in the show description if you go on YouTube. Look in the show description down below, and you'll see a link. It'll take you to the same form. So that's how we do things. My cousin reviews all the submission, and she picks 25 letters each week, and then they go into the document, and I read them. So for those of you who are new here, I don't know any more about these people or their situation than what's written here. So when I'm reading it, we both know exactly what's going on. I don't have any secret agenda. I don't know nothing. I don't know these people. I haven't talked to them. I don't have any more information than what's in here. And what we try to do is discourage people from coming up with woulda, shoulda, couldas, and I betchas and all this kind of stuff, because coming from a legal background, that's not in evidence. And so on this show, I don't like to jump to conclusions like that. I go by what the letter writer has said. Most of the time they say too much, and they just go on and on about telling you about every little detail. So it's pretty clear what's happening. So let's get started. We got 25 questions. We're going to be here for a minute. And let me get over here to where the comments are. I'm on the wrong part. What's up, everybody? I see a couple of new names and some people who haven't been here for a minute. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you made it. So let's get started. We got 25 questions. This is number 1. It's a young man in the 22 to 27 age group. The young lady in question is also in the 22 to 27 age group in the USA. Summary of issue. My girlfriend is deeply hurt that I'm not ready to move in with her. Auntie Deb, my girlfriend of the last 7 months, only 7 months, can't understand why I don't feel like I'm ready to move in with her yet. And she's hurt and sad by my stance. She thinks my reasons are flimsy and that my thought process indicates that I don't love her enough to be willing to make sacrifices for her. We're 22 and 25, me, and both currently students at the same university where we met. I live with one of my best friends currently while she lives alone. My buddy and I split the rent, so it's cheaper for us while she has to take on her entire apartment rents alone. So her idea was that I would move in with her and help reduce her costs while keeping mine low. However, in my mind, I feel it's too soon to take such a drastic step. Personally, I've always been in the mindset that I should at least know somebody that I should at least know for certain that I'm going to marry someone before I move in with them, or at least have been in a relationship for a considerable amount of time. So for me, this came at a little early. Also, I like my personal space a lot and would feel less of that living and being with her 24/7. I would also really not want to alienate my friend. I feel like we have a healthy balance of our relationship as it is for the moment, and moving in with her would destabilize that. From her perspective, it isn't a big deal, and she's shocked that she even has to try to persuade me to do this. We've had this discussion regarding this dilemma 4 or 5 times now, and after each argument, her attitude in general towards me seems to worsen. She's much less affectionate now and significantly colder to me than she has ever been. This has been the case for the last month. I tried to make alternative suggestions for her as it was about reducing the rent, like asking a friend if they want to move in, or any suitable girl that would be a decent roommate, but she declined, citing that our relationship wouldn't be the same if there were someone else there that would potentially invade our privacy or have problems with me being over at her place. Now, during our most recent discussion, where I once again opted against moving in with her, she became so angry she burst into tears. It's gotten to the point that this issue may be the breaking point of the relationship. I just don't know what to do. I still don't feel like I want to move in with her, but at the same time, I feel guilty that perhaps she's right and it's the correct thing to do. And perhaps maybe she's right that I don't genuinely love her if I can't do this right now. I'm just so conflicted and confused. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are that you are the same one in the relationship and she's crazy. First of all, dude, I know you like this girl. I also know you're only 25, but let me tell you why you need to talk to her. You're not talking of you being too nice. You're trying to be all gentle and logical and reasonable and all this kind of stuff. You have to, I'm trying to watch my language, but you need to turn into a hood rat on her ass. That's what you need to do. So when she starts whining about this thing and say, look, and you got to do like how brothers do when they want to emphasize a point. Okay, you in your hand like this, and you are emphasizing your words. And you here, girl, I told you, I'm not with you. I like you, but not that much. I'm not moving in here. I don't care what you do. You can go move into a smaller place. You can go back and live with your parents. You can get a roommate. You have a whole bunch of options. But don't be looking at me to ease your financial burden. That's not why I'm here. Okay, I'm not here to be a roommate with you because you need somebody to help you pay your bills. That's not my job. And you have to be like really blunt with her. Say, you putting pressure on me to do something I already told you that I'm not going to do. So at this point, you're not respecting my no. If this was flipped around and I was the dude asking you for some kind of weird sex act and you kept saying no, but I kept pressing you, how would you feel? And using all this guilt manipulation and all this stuff about it, you would love me, you would do it. This is, you know what I mean? Think about it. It's exactly the same thing, but it's for her. It's coming from a woman, and it's about moving in with her. But the pressure and the denial of your no and the lack of respect for your boundaries is exactly the same. So you flip that on her real quick and let her watch her make the Pikachu face. Well, it's not the same, she's going to say. And you're going to say, yes, it is. It is exactly the same. So let me tell you this, then one last time, brother style, one last time. If you ask me this shit again, we're through. Because you've been tripping and acting a fool for the last month. I told you no already. I know it's going to stay no. So if that's not the answer you want to hear and you just want to get salty about it, then we can break up now. Because I'm tired of this shit, to tell you the truth. That's what you're going to have to do. So right now she feels like if she keeps pressuring you, just like dudes do women, if you keep pressuring you that you're going to give her what she wants. And by the fact that you're even questioning it shows that you're weak. And she knows it, and that's why she keeps asking you. So I'm telling you, you better reinforce yourself. Grow a spine, get you some nuts. Do something with yourself and shut this shit down. How you gonna look like moving out and leaving your friend hanging like that? That's you're one of your best friends for some broad that your ass just met 6-7 months ago. You would be a fool if you did that. So you put her little ass in the wind and tell her to go on over there and pressure somebody else because you're not interested. I don't think it's a mental disorder. I think it's some game. People just want to be, they want to get what they want to get out of you. They want you to give them what they're asking you for. As soon as you say no, they be like all bent out of shape and start hammering you, to try to coerce and convince you or manipulate you with guilt and tears to do what they want you to do. That's what I'm telling him. You got to turn your ears off. You don't listen to her. You just start clapping your hands and then you put some bass in your voice and tell that little ass girl no. Somebody trying to move in with her. She sounds like that kind that's controlling too. You know what I mean? Because she's just demanding and just over and over and over. He already said no 4 or 5 times. And she's still, hammering with it. And now she done pulled out the crocodile tears. So this poor dude, he don't even understand. But dude, you 25 years old. I'm telling you, you better get yourself together so you recognize bitches when you see one, so you can cut yourself loose from them real quick. By the time she asks you the second time, you're supposed to say, look, you didn't ask me once and you asked me twice. You do that shit again, we're through. Because one thing I'm not going to do is repeat myself. When I say no, bitch, your ass is going to listen to what the fuck I say. If that ain't going to work for you, then bye. We can do a shit right now. See, if you talk to her like that, then she would have left you alone. But she knows that's not in you. Man, just let me be a dude. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'd probably have to be dodging bullets the way I would talk to these crazy women. Question number 2. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. The male in question is 28 to 34. Summary of issue. My boyfriend got another girl pregnant. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. And you still with him? My boyfriend is 34 and I'm 24. Okay, well, there's your first mistake. We've been dating for 2 years and I really love him. We decided to take a break due to distance, but the break lasted about 7 months. But we still talk pretty much every day, and we both expressed that we still loved each other and still want to get back together as soon as we figured out a way to see each other more frequently, and that's what we did. We got that together about a month ago, and 1 week ago, he slept with once, reached out, telling him that she's pregnant. She wanted to get a termination, but decided to reach out and ask for his opinion first, and after they talked, it seems like she now wants to keep the baby. This girl lives in a different country, and my boyfriend has expressed to me that he does not want to have this child, but he told the girl it's her choice, and if she really decides to keep it, he wants to be in the kid's life. You idiot. He's actually devastated, extremely depressed, and scared. I have no idea what to do. I want to be there for him and help him get through this, but I feel extremely hurt, sad, and even jealous. I never thought it'd be a situation like this. He never hid from me that he had slept with other girls while we were on a break, and it's not like he cheated, but I still feel heartbroken. I love him, though, and he's been saying he understands if I want to end the relationship, but he loves me and doesn't want to lose me. I want to put me and my mental health first, but I'm not ready to end things for good with him. We both see a future together, and for it all to end just like that is not really what I want. Should I still try to make it work, even if the girl has the baby and we have to move to another country? Why we got to move? Girl, where's the part about this, your husband? I'm not seeing that here. This is a mere boyfriend. One that you weren't even with for 7 months and only been back together with for a couple of weeks. If you go through with this, you're an idiot. I mean, like dumb, super dumb. This would be one of the worst mistakes that you could make. So you're going to pack up your life and move to a whole nother country behind some motherfucker who can't even use birth control and goes getting random bitches that he sleeps with one time pregnant from barebacking. That's the life choice that you're making here. Do you understand how stupid you sound? He's an idiot. And if you stay with him, you're one too. That's all I'm going to say. His wallet's about to get tapped for real. And you're going to be trying to be with him, and money's coming up short, so he's going to be asking you for some money to help support this miscellaneous stray baby he had by some miscellaneous stray bitch in some miscellaneous stray foreign country. And you just all in for it. Girl, because by the time he told me he had somebody pregnant, I've been like, oh, well, I'm out. So you're going to go and do what you need to do for this baby that you claim that you want to be in its life, because I don't want to be in no random baby's life. I'm not the only man on the planet the way she acting. Question number 3. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group, the male 22 to 27, and they're in the U.S. Summary of issue. My boyfriend plays too rough with me, and he hurts me. What do I do? Oh, I can think of several options, but let's see what you have to say. So I've been with my boyfriend for over a year, and I've noticed a pattern of behavior in him. Well, he'll be too rough when play fighting. Why is a man play fighting with you, a girlfriend? Why is that happening? Okay. For example, in the beginning of the relationship, we were playing around and he punched me a little too hard in the stomach. I told him this immediately and he laughed it off. Okay, that was your clue to say, I don't want to do this and leave him alone. That was your red flag right there. But what did you do? You stayed. I brought it up multiple times saying that it hurt me, and it wasn't until I had a serious conversation with him that he apologized. Okay. But you didn't write a letter about something that happened a year ago, so let's read on. Another example is that he'll randomly crack my fingers when I say that it hurts, and to stop, he'll continue doing it. So this guy is a sadist. He'll also pick me up and squeeze me really hard. I told him this hurts afterwards because doing it, I can't breathe enough to speak. And then he'll apologize and end up doing it again like a week later. He never does it when we're arguing, when he's mad, though. So I don't think it's malicious, but I don't know. Does this type of behavior usually escalate? I just can't tell if I'm being dramatic about it. Also, this one isn't an example of him being too rough, but he'll continuously tickle me, even though I tell him that I genuinely don't like it. He also choked me a little bit too hard sometimes, playfully, but I think he does not know his own strength. Okay, you sound real stupid. How could you stay with somebody who keeps hurting you like this? Intentionally. Who you tell to stop and he ignores your stop. You tell no and he ignores your no. And he just does whatever he wants to your body. When you don't like it, he does it anyway. Were you abused as a child or something? Something's off here. Where your natural sense of self-defense and boundaries are not there. This is very tragic. You need to see a therapist and figure out why you feel like being assaulted and abused is okay. And like you have to doubt yourself for not liking it or not wanting it. You know, when I was little, to this day, I don't like people trying to tickle me. I will go smooth the fuck off on you and start kicking and punching and beating your ass if you try to tickle me. Now, the only reason I know that because I had a boyfriend who tried that one time and I blacked his eyes. I fucked him up so fast. It scared both of us because it's like I just reacted. I didn't even think about it. I just like went crazy real quick. And he didn't know what to do. And he's like, well, I'll never do that again. I'm thinking, what did you do it in the first place for? But anyway, when I was a little kid, I used to have a series of nightmares. And I called it the tickle monster. Because what it was I would be getting tickled to the point where I couldn't breathe. And in my dream, I was like nearing death. And this thing just would not stop and just kept, it just basically tickled me to death. I know it sounds crazy, but keep in mind, I was like a 6 or 7-year-old kid. And that was a night terror for me. And yeah, it was really weird. But then I realized as I got older, what that represents is not having control over your own body, or somebody bigger and stronger than you, or somebody not listening to you when you told them that you didn't want to do something, or not having control over yourself, not having control. So, I had at the time some relatives that, some stuff was going on. And I, in my little kid way, I didn't know really how to deal with it. They were telling me. And I'm like 6 or 7, and they're the same age, and they're telling me what was these uncles and stuff was doing to them. And I think that was a manifestation of their fear that, was transmuted to me. And in my empathy, I created this tickle monster that made me have the same terror that I thought they were having. I think that's what it is. But I didn't figure that out until I was like well into my 30s. But yeah, I mean, to these, you know how close I am to my cousins. I mean, they're like sisters, all of them. And so, because I don't really, I mean, I have some half sisters, but I don't really see them that much. But, my cousins I see all the time. So I had a much closer relationship with them. So, stuff like that going on and, them telling me, I could feel bad. I felt bad for them and I was concerned and worried. So that's how, as a 6 or 7-year-old kid, my concern and worry and my empathy for their trauma manifested itself. I think that's what happened. You get it? Yeah, I think that's, psychology in college and then years of thinking about it. That's what I came up with. And I was like, that sounds like a plausible thing. But I tell you this stuff, though, young lady, because you need to understand yourself and what's motivating you to stay in this relationship with this guy that keeps hurting you. This is something that you should have left. Okay, he did that the first time when you guys first started a relationship. That's the day you should have left. Yeah, this is sad. So let's move on to question number 4. God, I'm only on number 4. This is a young man of 22 to 27, age group from the UK. Summary of issue. I am interested in this girl, but I find her intimidating. My aunt is trying to set me up with her friend's daughter. I've added her on social media, and after checking out her posts from the past, I feel kind of intimidated. She has traveled to many places. Excuse me. and seems very adventurous, unlike me, who's almost 30 years old and who spent most of my 20s cooped up inside a room with nothing noteworthy to share or poor social skills. Wow. I've spoken to her a couple of times during our family get together, and she seemed very nice and down to earth, but I find her intimidating because she's so far more adventurous and probably has more stories to share than she did yesterday than I have in my whole life. Also, I have no courage to ask her out on a date. Okay, so what's the question? You didn't ask no question. You just vented, I guess. Is that what's going on here? You just wanted to share your tale of woe and your intimidation. Okay, but this is the thing now. This is the thing. Now that you see how other young people in your age group are living, what are you going to do to change yourself? This is a wake-up call. You stay cooped up in your room, that means you're boring. That means you don't know nothing. You don't have any kind of conversation and you don't know how to talk to people. You have no social skills, you admit yourself. So how are you going to change that and better yourself, young man? That's the letter that I want to hear. Okay, what your plan is. Let's move on to question number 5. This is a young lady in the 18 to 21 age group from Southeast Asia. The female in question is 57 to 65. Okay, so that must be her mother. Summary of issue. How can I get my mom to understand how her trying to set me up with older men is weird? My mom told me about a new guy at her office who's 33 and gushed to me about how everyone thinks he is handsome and well-mannered. She wanted me to meet him and brag to him about how pretty I am, but how I was still a student, but I'm interested in his career. But Deb, she has shamed me for years for even bringing up the idea of dating boys and told me that I should be focused on my studies. So I was able to get into one of the best universities in my country because of it. I think she's begun to notice that I keep rejecting guys when they ask me out, and I still have no interest in finding a boyfriend. But I dressed up nice and went to her work dinner, and I met the guy. I just didn't see anything around, found him awkward. I let her know I wasn't interested, but still insisted on me keeping in touch with him. And a few months later, nagged me incessantly to ask him for study guides and materials for the entrance exam, which he didn't have. I never had a proper conversation with him, even through text. So I was kind of, everything was just casual and polite. Then he asked if I wanted to come over to his house an hour and a half from my city through transit to, quote, chill for an hour or two. I turned him down and said I was busy. He left me on read. After that, my mom told me about a woman whose 40-year-old doctor's son is looking for a girlfriend. She offered me up as a potential candidate while even telling me that she had asked the mother whether I'd be too young. The mom said no. She explained that it was because he was a doctor and that she'll only seek out the best for me. Just because he's a doctor, that don't mean he's a good person. Some of these doctors are just weird and vile. I blew up at her. And when I showed her, when I brought up what her coworker had texted, she said that was normal and that was just men being men slash guys being guys. She at least told me that she would stop trying to set me up, but completely misunderstanding how wrong and creepy her actions were and the awkward position she kept putting me in. She said she wouldn't set my brother up with older women because of having children. So it's okay for you to be with some old man 20 years older than you, but not your brother. I'm not sure if I was out of line for saying the things that I did and what I should do. What should I do to go about expressing it better to her? I'm even questioning my own feelings on whether I had blown the age difference thing out of proportion. I know exceptions do exist where a bigger age gap is between couples and they seem to be happy, but it just doesn't feel right in my instance. Okay, then that's good enough for me. First of all, whose mother sets them up like that? That just has like a pimping aspect to it. If it's going to be something like that, she's supposed to ask you first if she should do that. Say, there's a nice guy, but, are you interested in meeting him? So you can say yes or no, not try to push it down your throat. And a 40-year-old doctor and your behind is 20 and in school, a student, what would that look like amongst his colleagues? That would be a hot mess. He's not going to go for that. I think that you're correct. I'm glad your mother relented and said she'd stop. Let's hope she does. If she ever brings it up again, say, Mother, we had this conversation already. I'm not interested in meeting anybody that you know for any reason at any time ever. It's not going to happen. Don't ask me again. And just shut it down and just keep repeating that. That's just bizarre. I couldn't imagine my parents doing some mess like that to me. Question number 6. Oh, the closest they did was invited this kid that liked me to a camping trip our family went on. This boy looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon. And at the time, I wasn't even into boys yet anyway. I was a Girl Scout, and I was, like a little tomboy. I'm doing all the stuff, like, stuff to get badges and going on camping trips and backpacking. And, I was one of them kind of girls. So I'm like, I wasn't interested in, dating boys and kissing. Ew. I didn't get to that point till I was like 17, 18 years old. It still was kind of about it, but because I looked at that slide, I told you I looked at that slide that I looked under a microscope, electron microscope, and saw that stuff wiggling on the slide. So you think all that stuff is, I know I clean my mouth well, other people don't. And then I'm thinking about, okay, if you kiss them, then that means that those little wiggly things are going to come from their mouth into your mouth. So I'm thinking all that kind of stuff. So I was not interested in kissing nobody because I didn't want none of the wiggly things going into my mouth. Okay, so I'm telling you, that was my thought process. So I was not interested in kissing nobody. But yeah, they invited that ugly little troll on the camping trip. And I had to look at his ass all weekend. He kept trying to bug me. Finally, had to get my older brother to make him leave me alone. Unbelievable. That was the worst thing my parents did. And I told them about it too. And they were like, oh, we're sorry. We thought you'd have fun with him. Why? Why would I have fun with that? Why didn't you let me invite one of my friends? That's one of y'all friends with his parents. And you invite him. He don't have nothing to do with me. He's not my friend. Ew. Question number 6. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from the U.S. Summary of issue. I am distancing myself from my friend who cheated on her spouse. How do I best do that? Yeah. I just thought, because when you grow up with boys, like all my male cousins, my brothers and stuff, my rogue ass daddy, you grow up with a lot of males. I think that hunger that a lot of girls have to have a boyfriend and, male energy and stuff, you don't have it because you get to see how stupid they are, like on the daily, up close and personal. So the natural curiosity and the interest that a lot of girls have in boys, I didn't have it because all I had to do was go down the hall and deal with my stupid ass brothers. Their friends, my cousins, my male cousins, the boys in the neighborhood, just a bunch of idiots. So, I'm cool on boys. I'm just not interested. I didn't see anything that was going to be any benefit to my little world. And so I left them alone till I went off to college. So here we go. Question number 7. Female, 18 to 21. Wait a minute. Oh no, I'm skipped one. Okay, I'm distracted. Okay, I'm distancing myself from my friend who cheated on her spouse. How I do it. I've known her for many years. She cheated a lot in high school, but I chalked it up to being young and dumb. She recently cheated on her spouse with a married man, and honestly, I just wanted to ghost myself from our friendship. However, when she told me, she seemed so distraught. At the time, I just cared for my friend, but the longer I've thought about her actions, the more it disgusts me. Anyways, I removed her from my SM, and now randomly she texted me asking if we are still friends. How would you break it off? I wouldn't break it off over that. What kind of judgmental fuck are you? Who the fuck why are you all like acting like that? Nobody said you had to be all up in the woman's face all the time. But if you've been friends for many years and she cheated on her husband, why is that your business to wait on it and judge her and slam the relationship like that? Please explain that to me. It's not your business like that. Either you're going to be friends with somebody and you be friends with them thick and thin no matter what happens, or you just one of them fair weather friends. As long as somebody does it the way that you like them to do and you approve of what they wear, what they say, where they go and what they do, then you can be friends with them. So, how would you break it off? You know what? Nobody want to be friends with your fucking ass. Just go on down the dusty red trail, block her number, and then just leave her alone. because you ain't nobody's friend. You're just a cow. Question number 7. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. Wait a minute before I start, because you know what? As a friend, you know what you should have been doing instead of being judgmental and slamming her like this and just blocking her and shutting her out? You should have been talking to her. If that's your friend, you should have sat her down and said, "Girl, what is going on with you? Why would you do something like that? What's hurt? You know, what's happening? What's going on? How can I help you get through whatever this is that you're going through? Should I help you find a therapist? You need somebody to talk to. What the fuck is going on here? Is your husband, beating you? I mean, what's happening?" But you didn't do that. All you did is sit in judgment. Like your ass is so damn pristine and wonderful that you've never made a mistake and done something that you regret, which obviously she does. You see, I'm not feeling you at all. Question number 7, female 18 to 21 from the U.S., male 22 to 27. Summary of issue: wondering if I'm missing some red flags with my boyfriend. So I've had 2 previous relationships, but my new boyfriend is 23, didn't. He treats me like a goddess, and I shouldn't have a single thing to complain about. I asked him to do something, he will do it no matter what. He loves me with all his heart. He buys me presents, plans for the future, and lives more healthily. Overall, everything is great besides Nook Nook, but we're working on it because it's not his fault or problem for me that he lacks experience. But I am just so afraid that all this beauty will fade soon, and then there are red flags I am missing, like in my past relationship that will ultimately lead to a breakup. I can't stop worrying that something bad will happen soon, that he stops loving me, that I will do something that will lead him to dislike me. He swore everything is great and that he is happy. So yeah, I don't know. What are some red flags I should be looking out for? You should leave this alone. First of all, you just dating, okay? You in the 18 to 21 age group, he's 23. Please don't, I know you're not thinking this is going to be your happily ever after. Not at your age. Enjoy it for what it is while it lasts. And stop looking into the future and creating problems that don't exist. See, you going to drive him off with all of this low self-esteem, having disaster planning that you're trying to do. Yeah, she needs some therapy. She needs her ass kicked too. Just stupid. Let's move on. Question number 8. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from the U.S. Summary of issue: I just found out that my best friend of 12 years is dating my ex. Oh, this is interesting. I used to date this girl for 5.5 years. Okay, and you only in the 18 to 21 age group? What the fuck? You start dating at 10? What's happening here? We ended our relationship a year ago because we grew apart and didn't love each other anymore. We ended things on good terms and remained friendly. So today I found out my best friend and my ex kissing each other in public. They didn't see me because I was far away. I'm not jealous, but I feel betrayed by my best friend. There are hundreds of thousands of girls in our city, and he has to choose my ex? I'm at a loss for words, and I don't know what to do. Should I confront him? Should I tell our mutual friends and shame him? Candace, I will gladly answer questions and give more details if you choose my letter and need more information. Well, I guess she did do that. I'm so sorry if this is just a rumbling mess. I have no idea what to do. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go on get you a big marker pen, and you're going to get a blank piece of paper, and you're going to write the letters on it, MYOB. And then you're going to tape it up on your wall so you see it. And then you're going to write another one. You're going to tape it on your bathroom mirror. So when you brush your teeth and wash your face and stuff, you will see it. You know what that means? That means mind your own business. That means you ain't been with the woman for a year. Y'all ended things. So whether it was an ex, your best friend, or whether it was any other dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like the analogy I like to use is like, okay, I had some old clothes, right? I didn't want them. I set them out at the curb. Okay, so one of my friends comes along and gets them and puts uses the shoes or the dress or whatever. And then, she's happy with it. Now, this is the same as you. You threw it away, right? It's not yours no more. You threw it away. Exactly same scenario. And somebody else comes along and they're happy with it. And here you are hating that they're happy with what you already threw out, that you don't want no more and haven't wanted in a year. It's a MYOB. Now, I know a lot of people feel very, they feel territorial. And they're like, well, that's my, but that's my friend. I don't give a fuck about any of that. First of all, let me share something. When you're friends with somebody, very often you guys are friends, as you do know what? Because you like the same things. You have a lot of stuff in common. You appreciate the same things. That's why you're friends. So wouldn't it make sense if you had an ex that you didn't want anymore, and that you guys have similar tastes, that your friend would, hook up with the ex? I mean, it's not anything I would do, but I'm just saying, as the girl, I wouldn't do that. But, you just never know. It could have been the kind of thing where they're a perfect match for each other and you just gotten away. And now that she's single, and dude made his move because he always felt that she was better with him than with you. But here you are hating and talking about you going to try to shame him and shit like a little bitch. Who does that? What kind of man does that? You acting like a little jealous bitch right now. You better stop this. You're not going to do nothing. You're going to do what I said and write MYOB, and that's what you're going to do. He's going to come and tell you I'm dating a girl, and you're going to be like, well, congratulations. I hope it works out better for you guys than it did for us. That's what you're going to say. You're going to act like a mature adult here. Should I confront him? Confront him and do what? You threw her away, remember? Should I tell our mutual friends and shame him? No, little bitch, you're not going to do that. You're going to keep your mouth shut and mind your own business. This is disgusting that you would even think to do some shit like that. Girl, I'm telling you, MYOB. More people should do that. Diana, I don't know, because he said 5.5 years and he's in the 18 to 20, whatever. Young. I'm like, my God, how long do people date? If I make it to 5.5 weeks, it's a fucking miracle. I just don't want to be bothered. Question number 9. This is a young lady, the 22 to 27 age group from the USA. Summary of issue. In your opinion, is it a waste of time to date someone that you don't see yourself with long term? No. But it depends on what you mean by date. Let's see here. I'm dating a guy and I really enjoy his company. We met a little over a year ago. We get along well and he checks a lot of boxes for me. However, we don't share similar values and morals. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just wasting my time dating him. We both don't have any expectations from one another, and aside from the things we disagree on, we have a lovely time. We're both aware that our experiences have led us to have different views on things. I know that one day our romantic connection will run its course, and I'm okay with that. I'm just curious what everyone else's thoughts are. Why? They can tell you, but I feel like if you already know, unless you're looking to get married soon, which in 22 to 27 age group, I would doubt that you are, then what difference does it make? If you're not going to be dating him, you'll be dating somebody, right? So by the time you get ready for something serious, then yeah, you would have to let this go. Because, the values and morals thing, that's a foundation of a long-term relationship. You don't even have that, so there'll be no point. But if you're having fun with him, that should be good enough. I would recommend, though, if you, that you make sure he knows that. And I don't understand why you haven't been dating 2 or 3 other people, too, since, you already know this is the end date is on the horizon, the expiration date. Yeah, I don't see what the problem is. Yeah, they are territorial. He done throw the girl away a year ago and gonna be getting salty because his friend is dating her a year later. Anyway, that don't even mean they dated, it just mean they kissed, right? Let's move on. Question number 10. Male 18 to 21 in the U.S. Summary of issue. My best friend is dating a girl that he knows I like. Here's another one. Being territorial. I will keep it brief, but a lot happened. Let me see what you mean by brief. Because I have a feeling your brief and my brief don't match. Well, let's see. Me and my best friend both like the same girl, and 1 month ago, she had to leave her home due to being beat by her parents. Wow. I advised her to go to my best friend's house as his mom has a job with social services. It was the best place for her to go in my mind. She stayed there for a week and a half, and I recently found out during that time that they got nook, apparently prompted by my best friend. She said she was in a really bad place and wanted to relieve some stress. This wouldn't have bothered me if it wasn't for the fact that she kissed me just a few days after they had nook. It makes me feel guilty as though I didn't even know about it at the time. It still makes me feel like I went behind my friend's back. Now she says that the nook was a mistake and she feels sorry about it, saying that she wants a relationship with me instead of him. I still like her, but since I found this out, we have gotten further into the relationship. I'm wondering if this is a mistake and if I shouldn't have overlooked it so easily. According to her, the nook was a stupid one-off thing, and it was initiated by my friend, not her. But I don't completely trust her word anymore. I'm worried it was more than just meaningless, but rather an actual built-up relationship. Is it wrong or stupid for me to continue to pursue a relationship with her? She still seems to like me a lot, but I just don't know if she's faithful after this. Oh my God. You don't understand how the pressure dudes will put on a girl when a girl is in there under their roof. You don't get that. You don't see how he may have coerced her by saying, if you don't, then you'll have to leave. And she would have no place else to go, right? You didn't think about any of that kind of stuff, did you? That's how it goes down, my brother. So really, what you should do, if you like the girl, then date the girl. If you don't like the girl and you want to be more worried about all this other miscellaneous, stray, stupid stuff, then you just go and tell her that you don't want to date her and just leave her alone. Because that would mean that you're choosing your friend, your rapey friend, over her. That's what that would mean. So you have a decision to make. I can't make this decision for you. It's something you have to decide. But yeah, that's how dudes do when you be there at their house. They just feel like, like you owe them or something. I've had that experience. But you know me, I carry my peace. So it's like, no, I said no, motherfucker, and that's what that means. Just because I'm here, that don't mean I owe you shit. Right? So they usually start to agree when they start thinking about being ventilated, that maybe that's, they'll just let it slide this time. And I'll just stay there and get me a few hours of sleep, and then I'll be on my way. Yeah. Let's move on to question number 11. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from the UK, male, 20 to 34 as well. Summary of the issue: how to tactfully clarify if we're actually dating. Tactfully. That's an interesting phrase. I started talking to this guy on an online dating site just 3 weeks ago. We've talked every day since. Last week, we even went on 3 dates. We both have children and have talked about doing something with friends and their kids in the next few months to get everyone acquainted. He has also said things such as, out of all the girls I've dated, and how I'll eventually need to meet his ex due to them having an agreement of meeting the people that come into their child's life. He makes it sound like we're a couple now, but we never actually had that talk. I haven't dated since my divorce. I would like to date him. How do I tactfully ask him if we're actually dating? And she put the grimace face, that face. After 3 weeks, he's doing all this kind of conversation. To me, that's future talk. That's what you guys call it, the love bombing. Because it seems a little rushed for the stage of the relationship that you guys are in, and the amount of time you spent together and the amount of that you know of each other. Don't you think that's a little off kilter? Does that not strike you as bizarre? Just rushed, kind of haphazard, kind of illogical? That you never thought that? I would have put the brakes on this when he started talking about, okay, let me see here. Let me see what the first thing you said was. Okay, we went on 3 dates. Okay. 3 dates in 3 weeks. Casual dating. Okay, we talked about doing something with friends, kids in the next few months to get everyone acquainted. And out of all the girls I'll dated, So see, yeah, that's future talk. And you'll eventually need to meet his ex, doing that stuff. So when he started talking about getting together with other people and their kids, say, well, let's hold off on that because I don't really know you well enough myself. And one thing I don't like to do is involve my children with people I don't really know. So that's something far down the line from my perspective. I have to protect my children. That's all you had to say. Shut that down. And so then he would see, oh, wait, she's not going to be the time to get caught up in romantic fantasy. She's a realist. And she's not going to go for this nonsense that I'm talking. See? But you didn't do that. You let him get away with it. So you're not going to ask him if you're actually dating. What you're going to do is go back to him and you're going to say, you said all these things, and those things do sound, like they would be nice for two people who are that know more about each other and have been more involved with each other outside of 3 weeks. So could you do me a favor and not mention stuff like the future and stuff, and let's just see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. And, if we morph into being a couple, then those things will happen. But right now we're just, checking each other out. And it just seems premature to me to even talk about those kinds of things. That's what you're going to do. So you're going to shut this shit down. Question number 12. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. Male, same age group. Oh, excuse me. USA. Summary of issue. My boyfriend keeps certain aspects of his life completely separate, including me. Oh, so you a dirty little secret? I'm looking for some advice. I've been with my boyfriend for almost a year. I really like him, and he's generally quite a good guy. However, he likes to keep a very clear separation between different parts of his life. Mm. For example, I've never met his friends, although I've asked him to. He said they don't really do that kind of thing. There's no trace of me on his social media, albeit he doesn't use it for much, but we'd post an odd thing if we go on holiday, etc. Again, no mention of me. We work in the same place too. I helped him to get the job, and he hasn't ever mentioned to anyone that we're together. Well, that's smart. Anyone that knows only because I told them. For context, I have met his family and he's met mine too, but I'm not sure what to do. Almost a year. Well, that's up to you. If it's very, to me though, like when a man really wants to be with you, you're involved in his life. This guy's keeping a real separate, you're separate. You're on the outside of his life. On the day to day. When they really want you to be a part of it, you in the car with him while he's running errands, you meeting all his people, you meeting all his friends. He's dropping by different people's houses. He dragging you along with him to introduce you to his friend's mama and his friend's sister and his friend's brother and all his friends that he used to go to high school with. It's just a natural part of the relationship developing. You meet the people that are important to him, and the people that are important to him meet you because you're also important to him. None of that's happening in this relationship. So, with almost a year here, it's time for you to make a choice. If you're gonna be with the man and be like in his life, or you're going to stop this. Because I would say after almost a year, he's not bringing you in like that. That's because he don't want you in. Now, either he's trying to make sure that you stay on the outside so he can dump you easily, or there's something else going on the inside, and you got to stay on the outside so that the two things don't meet up like another woman. So it's one of those two things. There's some secret life he's got that most likely involves another woman, or he just wants you to make it real clear to you that no matter if you don't have another woman, that it ain't gonna be you. Okay, so it's one of them two things. Yeah, he's finding he's hiding something, but we don't really know what. But typically, though, when they do this, it's because they have another relationship. That's the primary relationship, and you're like the side chick. Question. Oh, that's what I just did. Question 13, female 22 to 27 in the U.S. Summary of issue. My boyfriend wants a threesome. Oh, with me, and I don't know what to do. My boyfriend had asked me for a threesome because I have had nook with another man before, and he has never done it with anyone besides me. He said he feels like this bothers him a lot, and a threesome would help these feelings and, quote, keep him happy and fix our relationship. I really am unsure of this, and I'm scared that if this is something I may consider, if it will end up making things worse. He says me having done it with another man previously makes him feel insecure since he has only been with me. What do I do? So that's his answer? To do some freak shit? And you fell for this? See, you don't know what he's done in the past, right? You don't know. So he's telling you that he ain't never been with anybody. He's using that for an excuse. But what proof did you have that that's true? And even if that is true, why is that a valid reason to do some freak shit involving you? So what you're supposed to do when he says he wants to do all that, you're supposed to say, well, I'm not about that life. So if that's the route you want to go, I'm gonna deuce out and you go and do all of what you need to do over there somewhere. And then you catch up to me and surpass me. I don't care what you do. But I'm not gonna be involved in that. Don't do it. I can tell you right now that he's not going to respect you after you do it. You're not going to respect yourself because it's going to be a violation of your boundaries, your morals, and your values. You would be doing some shit that you know you don't want to do to try to keep a man. That would be the worst mistake of your life because you know what? The quietness is kept when women do this kind of stuff. And then the dude, know, when you would do anything to please him and give him what he wants, the next thing he's going to be bringing dudes up there and you're going to be on the host stroll and not even know what happened. That's what's going to happen to you. You better shut this shit down. Tell him that you decided, you thought about it, you don't want to do that. And so since that's the road he wants to travel, that he needs to travel it by himself and get the experiences that he feels would, make him more on your level or whatever. And then just boop. Bye, Felicia. Yeah, I would not. These dudes always coming up with some bullshit they want some woman to do. Trying to convince you to do some shit to make him happy. Fuck you and your happiness. I'm happy you're not happy. Your tears are just like, they're in this glass. See this? This is a glass full of man tears. It's so tasty and refreshing. Question number 14. This is a young lady, 18 to 21. Age group. She's from the USA and she says, I'm African American. Okay. Summary of issue. I have a friend who is incredibly rude. Let's call her A. We only knew her since we started university in September and the rudeness started in October. It started off as small comments. Me and another friend are more on the reserve side and she would constantly point out how shy we were. This is her going on full-blown rants about how she hates shy people and how they don't talk. Whenever immediately, one of our friends had a birthday dinner and she invited some of her friends. Afterwards, A said she didn't like the birthday girl's friends because they didn't talk to her. But Deb, she made no effort to talk to them either. Whenever someone else gets attention or a compliment, she always feels the need to say something negative. One time a guy called me attractive and she said it's only because I'm light-skinned. Oh, and she's still your friend? You still call her friend? This is interesting. Another time we were complimenting this one girl and A says that she isn't that pretty because she has a big nose. One of our friends is very attractive and gets a lot of attention from guys. Let's call her C. A straight up did say she didn't want C there because she would steal the attention from the guys. With the same group we played a game called Most Likely To. One of the statements was who's most likely to survive a zombie apocalypse, and I got chosen. One of my friends said it was because I am smart, and they said, how is she smart? And what makes you think that? Oh, wow. The worst thing she did was leave us when we were high. We did some edibles, and two of my friends hadn't taken them before. And I said, we should do it at school because you don't know how you will react the first time, and you should be in a safe place. But A said no, and that it was boring, but she was the only one who didn't do edibles. So one of my friends who's never done it before started having a panic attack. When this happened, A just left us there. Deb, it was nighttime, and we were in an unfamiliar part of the city. Even if we weren't high, it's wrong to leave your friend who's having a panic attack. It was even worse because she was the only sober one and the rest of us were high and one of us was panicking. It was hard to get everybody home safely. She is also very entitled. She wants everyone to do things for her, even though she won't do anything for us. Before Christmas break, she told us that she wouldn't talk to us again if we never messaged her. When I told her that she never messages us, she went quiet. For her birthday, so much effort was put in and she said that she was, quote, grateful. For what we did for everyone else's birthday, she's done nothing. Also, A has a habit of walking away or going silent when we disagree with her. I've tried to keep my distance from her and I don't respond when she acts rude. I just need advice on how to deal with her and how to confront her. Why don't you respond when she acts rude? Y'all a bunch of wimpy ass bitches. One thing I cannot stand is you gonna sit there and you write to me to complain about the bitch that's been doing all this stuff to you for this whole school year since September, right? And you haven't done nothing. You haven't shut her down. You haven't said anything. Just take it like just weak. All you had to do, okay, she started talking about she hates shy people and how they don't talk. You say, the Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk. Maybe you need to take a lesson. And then she says, well, she needs, she want to talk about people and talking about she hates them and stuff. Say nobody hates anybody more than a judgmental, raggedy bitch like you. See, you all on fire back on. I would never let anybody talk to me like this. And she don't get a dose, like real quick, a big one. And some she feel the need to say something like, well, why, how is she smart and what makes you think that? And none of you said anything. Not one of you said anything to shut her down. Say, even if she's not that smart, she's smarter than you. So everybody here thinks that. So everybody can't be wrong. The only one who doesn't think that is you. Obviously, you're the one who don't really understand or jealous because the girl is smart. And then she left you to, she walked off and left you by yourselves like that. And then you worried about her birthday and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. I would have never talked to that ugly bitch again. She would have been looking for me. I mean, like, you know what? Keep walking just like you did when you left us downtown. Just keep moving in the other direction away from us because nobody's interested in talking to your ass. You made that clear that you don't give a shit about us. So just keep it moving. Right? I don't understand why you guys tolerate this. Question number 15. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from the U.S. Summary of issue. My husband wants me to end all phone calls in his presence. On the days I work, I call my brother and my sister to catch up. We all live in different states and have been close, especially since our parents died. When I declined to go with him to the store tonight, I told him I was going to stay home and call my sister. He really wanted me to go, but I said, you don't like when I come home on the phone or talk to my family in general. His answer, I just like talking to you when you get home. He then changed his tune just slightly when he looked at my face and said, well, you can come home on the phone, but not for a long time. What the fuck? Mind you, my brother and sister have already made comments that they feel like when he's home, I can't talk to them. He's always in the background and will not give me peace unless he's at work. I purposely try to make my phone calls before he gets home. Otherwise, he complains I'm not paying any attention to him. My husband and I have been having trust issues. He had an emotional affair last year with an ex. We have been doing counseling, but it has not been helpful. I'm just curious what you would do in this situation with your spouse, Deb. At times, he makes me think I'm unreasonable, but I keep coming to the same conclusion. He is the problem, not me. Exactly. How would I have handled this? I would talk on the phone till I got good and ready to hang up. And if he was in the background, I'd say, shut the fuck up and stop acting like a 2-year-old whining in the background for mommy's attention. You're a grown-ass man. Act like it. I would say stuff like that. You know why? Because he's up there having emotional affairs and throwing tantrums like a toddler. I feel like if you have somebody like this going to treat you like that, then you don't really have, showing you that lack of respect, you don't really have to respect them. He's the one who started the disrespect, so I'm going to be the one that finishes it. You know what I said about mirroring men's behavior? Mirror their behavior. So he don't want you to talk, oh boy, I'm going to talk until I turn blue. He's not going to like it. And I'll be like, nobody gives a shit with you. Like you should have thought about that when you was busy having your emotional affair. Every time he would say something to me about anything, I would bring that up and throw it in his face. This is how you get treated when you have emotional affairs. You put other people before your wife. You didn't want to talk to me then. You wouldn't talk to that other bitch. So maybe that's what you should do now while I'm on the phone talking to my brother and my sister. Well, that's the thing. I would live like that for a minute. Because you know how I do. I done told you guys 55 million times. I'm going to fuck you over first. Then I'm going to leave you. I never leave just without having done something for some kind of validation of how fucked up you are. I'm going to have to do something first that's petty, that's revengeful, that, is retribution for me. Then when I've done that and I'm satisfied that I've gotten you back, then we will break up. Yes, that's how I do things. I would never leave, just leave. No. I have to make a scene. It has to be like an event before I leave. I got to leave you with some memories. That's how I do things. So that's what I would suggest that you do too. Stop bringing that up every time you think about it. Wake up in the middle of the night and shake him and wake him up and say, yeah, remember that emotional affair that you had? You suck. And then roll over and go back to sleep. Do that. Just he in the shower, just pull the curtain back and say, yeah. And they're trying to shower away all your guilt from that emotional affair that you had. You nasty buzzard. I would wear him out with that. Question number 16. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from the UK. Summary of issue. How can I navigate a clingy roommate? I live with a buddy. We're both 27, so we're not little kids, that I knew since becoming roommates. We get on really well. The only thing is he is remorselessly sociable. Every passing by in a corridor is leapt on to start a conversation. Even if I engage for a bit and bring a conversation to a natural close and physically walk away, he'll keep talking to me from 2 rooms away and even follow me. Every evening he assumes that we're going to hang out. I've been really tired recently and I need to just be alone for a bit, but I have to keep making up excuses. Whenever I mention a friend coming over, he just automatically assumes it's to hang out with him as well as me and that he'll join us. I know living with somebody is give and take, and he's a really good guy. I've even articulated to him that I do need some time, some me time to just decompress. And he seems very understanding once I get to the point explicitly saying, I do not want to spend time with you tonight. But then the next day, same deal, just the assumption of, so what are we doing tonight? And the onus is on me to have to justify not being with him is getting exhausting. He is generally a good friend, so really don't want to be a dick. He's just not understanding that I need some alone time more than he does. I would suggest this idea just came to me. Get a little calendar for the month, or maybe 2 months. And you mark on there the evenings and the time frame in which you will be with him. Wednesdays from, 5 to 7:30. Friday, every other Friday from 5 to 10, something like that. And then the rest of those times you're going to write in, me time, study, rest, gym, whatever you got going on, you're going to put those time blocks in there so he can look at it and he can tell in advance that not to fucking bother you. So that if he does bother you, refer him back to the calendar and say, nope, it's not your day today. I have all these other things to do, so you have to wait your turn. Like a kid. Try that. I don't know, that idea just came to me. But at least, it's like a visual representation. And he needs to also understand if you have friends coming over, you can like introduce them or whatever. And then you can say, well, me and my friend are going to go such and such a place and you're not invited. It's just going to be the 2 of us. And he's going to be like, oh, it's like, don't you have some friends to hang out with? You have friends, call them. You guys can have a good time, have some beers here or something. I'll be back later. Something like that. That's why I don't want to live with nobody. I'm just like, ugh. Girl, yes, put him on a schedule. He acting like a baby. You got to put him on a schedule like one. These are your feeding times. That's the only thing. I don't know. It just came to my mind that would be something. He could point to it and it's in written form. So it's, it's valid for him to refer to, and he can put it in his appointment book or his phone when it's his feeding time with the roommate. Question number 17. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. The male in question is 35 to 41. They're in the U.S. Summary of issue. I broke up with a guy that has ED after 2 months of dating. Was I wrong? Oh, you lasted that long? Oh, okay. Deb, I don't know if I need advice or just to vent. I'm 33 years old and I matched with this guy who's only 34 on an app about 2 months ago. He seemed too perfect to be true. Good looking, nice, successful, etc. Great first few dates. Around the 3rd date, we were making out and he couldn't get it hard. He said it was just lack of practice. I didn't think too much about it. That's when Deb would have went, boop. How you going to be 34 and you don't have no practice? You fell for that? We kept dating and texting, great emotional connection, but always failing to have nook. After 3 weeks, we made it exclusive. Problem is, after 2 months of continuously trying, he was never able to get things going enough for nook to happen. It started to feel frustrating. He said it is because he's getting older, and everyone our age is like that. That's not true, but I don't think 34 is that old. Anyway, I told him that if there's anything I could do to help, I would be happy to, and I suggested for him to go to the doctor, to which he got offended. He didn't talk or text me at all the next day. On the 3rd day we met, and I said that we needed to talk about it, that I didn't want intimacy to be frustrating, and that maybe he was just we can pause on trying for a bit or approach Nook Nook with just some oh or something. He got incredibly defensive. He said it was none of my business and that he was not willing to discuss his personal problems with someone he just met, and that I shouldn't be doubling down on an issue that's making him feel bad. I said that if we are exclusively considering a long-term relationship, then intimacy is something that we should discuss. At the end, it is my life too. I don't even know what to say about dude. Okay. Deb, I was not trying to offend him. I wanted to be supportive, but first need to understand why it is happening. A few hours after the breakup, I texted him again and he said he didn't want to pursue anything with me anymore. I'm just baffled of how fast things change and that it was a complete opposite effect of I was looking for. What do you and the squad think? What should or could I have done differently? Is this something I will encounter all the time moving forward as opposed to just ignore? Well, no, I wouldn't say that you're supposed to ignore it because um, I mean, it's not fair to you to be in a relationship with somebody with a broke dick who's only 34 years old.
He needs some milk.
Right here. That's what he needs. But I don't know. You know, a lot of these dudes are having this problem, diabetes. I mean, sometimes it's a health thing, but a lot of times it's just because they watch too much popcorn, and that's the only way that they can, get things revved up is by using that. Not normally anymore. So they don't have a normal nook life with anybody. It's them and their screen. It could be that too, because the doctors say that that's a real problem amongst men, young men in their 20s and 30s these days. It's because of that. Yeah. But I think you shouldn't be concerned about the fact that he broke things off. You should be rejoicing. You should be doing the Cabbage Patch. You should be doing the James Brown. You should be doing the Nay Nay. You should be doing all the dances. And you should be happy and dancing and laughing and gleeful that you are this albatross with a broke dick is out of your life. That's what you should be doing. And who cares if he's offended? Shit, are you trying to date somebody on the sly and wasting 2 months of somebody's time and your dick won't even get hard? And she's in her early 30s. Of course, she wants some nook. And you know your ass can't deliver. Who you think want to be looking at you and sitting up there just being frustrated? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Bruh.
No. That's not working. That's not working for me. And I know that's not working for you either. Oof. Okay, let's move on. Question number 18. Summary of issue. Do I break up with my girlfriend over this? The truth is I'm a bit lost. This is the best relationship that I've ever had. Dude, you're 22. How many relationships could you have had? Get out of here. Still got milk breath. We've been together for 2 years now. We get along amazingly. She is the cutest person ever, and I truly struggle to think living without her cute little face. However, she has anxiety. Oh, God, these kids and their anxiety. And it can be really bad. It stops us from doing the things that I love. We can't go to restaurants, not just us or with friends, and can't go to any social events, can't even go to the movies. These are all things I love. I have compromised for many of them, but I feel like it's getting too much. And during these moments, I just feel like if I could go back in time and tell myself not to date her, I would do that. Oh, damn. Not because I don't love her, but to save me from all the heartache that I'm going through just thinking about living without her. Today we went to the movies and we had to leave after the first 5 minutes. I couldn't care less about the money for the tickets. I cared about her being all right, but damn, did it suck. And I can't help but feel like an idiot for saying that the only deal breaker is her anxiety. Damn, she has bad anxiety for anything medically related too. So if I ever have a hospital appointment, she can't come. Same for dentists. But these are all things I was willing to compromise for, but the things just keep adding up. Why does she need to go to the hospital appointment or the dentist with you anyway? She ain't your mommy. Can't you do that by yourself, big boy? Now she has a feeling that fell out and she needs to go to the dentist, but she won't until it gets really bad. I have to be the person that will have to witness her suffer with anxiety until that happens and before her appointment. I try to be as supportive as I can, but it got to the point where it's eating me inside a little bit. Every phone call I get, I'm afraid to pick up thinking she's having another anxiety attack. I guess I'm burnt out. I always look forward to seeing her, but lately I'm afraid that it will just be another day with anxiety. In a way, I get anxious about her getting anxious. I never felt like that before. She does try to get better. She does therapy once a month, give or take. That ain't nothing. She need to be in there twice a week. And she believes that it's no help. She's been a therapist for a long time, and she states that she only feels good for the day, and then she goes through it again. I feel for her. I know it's not her fault, but it sucks. Actually, I guess my question is, do I end it even though it will suck? Yes. It's going to suck to be in a relationship, plus you lose your entire life. It'll suck not being in a relationship, but you'll get your life back. So to me, that's a benefit. It might suck a little bit because you'll miss her crazy, anxious ass, but you'll get over it because you'll get with a girl who's not anxious, and you'll be able to go and do all the fun, wonderful things that a young man of 22 years of age should be able to do. You'll see how much time you've wasted with this crazy bitch. I know people are like, well, she can't help that she has anxiety. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is his life is on hold, and his life is going backwards to please her. Let her be anxious. Nobody's holding it against her. But let her go do that over there some damn where and get her a better therapist and handle her business. She should not be trying to be in a relationship with anybody. She should be putting all of her energy plus whatever other time she can find into getting better and managing her mental health. It's not the time to be diluting your energy with a romance. And that's what you need to tell her. And tell her that's why you're going to deuce out. Because you can't do it no more. If you were my son and I found out that you had a girlfriend that was having all them dramas and she was keeping you from enjoying your little life from 20 to 22 with her crazy bitch ass self, I would have acted a complete fool and made you break up. I would have acted so stupid. I would have been the mother that I don't like to be. That I talk about so bad in this column. But there's no reason for a young man to sacrifice himself like that. He's in the prime of his life when he should be having the most fun. In college and stuff, just living it up, enjoying life, creating memories. He's not getting to do any of that because he's dealing with this crazy broad. I don't know if he's good. I think he's stupid. There's a difference. There's a difference. And I think
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Right? That's where dude is right now. Talking about he wish he had never met her before. Question number 19. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Canada. Summary issue. I found a cool guy, but he has allegations. You playing for that poor puppy? See, you guys, I don't do mental illness. I just can't do it. I have, most sympathy for people that, have it. I really do. But my boundaries are clear. Your problems are not mine. So your issues are not mine. Go handle your business and make the magic happen. I can't do that. I told you, time is the only thing in life that you don't get back. It's once it's spent, it's gone forever. So I'm not going to waste it on somebody whose life is all fucked up. You trying to fuck up mine too? No. Question number 19. Okay, the cool guy. I met this guy on a swipey thing earlier today, and I thought he was perfect. We have a lot in common. He's super sweet, and he seemed like an overall good guy. Something told me to search his name, and tweets came up about him being an abuser and an artist. I asked him about it, and of course he denied it. He explained everything to me, and it seemed like a big misunderstanding. But how do I know that? Why would you go and ask him about it, though? You stupid. You one of them women that talk too much. These tweets go back to 2019, literally 4 years ago. So you think because 4 years passed and somebody's not an artist, you think that what erases the crime? That erases the propensity to victimize people. You really believe that? Mm-hmm. My thing is, even if he did anything, it seems like it could have learned from it. So why not give him a chance? I'm having a really hard time with this because I'm quick to unfollow anyone with allegations. Not to mention my ex was the main reason all of this started and blew up. Oh, that's it. I don't understand what your ex has to do with this guy being a criminal and an abuser and attacker of women. It seems like a big misunderstanding. They always say that. They always blame the victim. You know, she shouldn't have been there. She shouldn't have wore that. She. But let me explain something to you, how stupid you are, okay? Something like this, you know, you find the information online. And, you know what city he lives in or whatever. You could have found the criminal records. I mean, they keep that stuff online. Then you could have found it. And you didn't need to ask him about it. And by the fact that it was so public and not taken down, because, see, if somebody makes a statement like that and they can't prove it, it's called libel and slander. And the social media people, if you demand that they take it down because it's unproven allegations and there's a lawsuit in effect, then they'll take it down because you're innocent until proven guilty. But the fact that it remained up for 4 years, in spite of what his defense, says something. Don't you think? And the fact that you're going to go and ask him about it like a big dummy, why would you do that? This is a man you met in the morning time, and you already caught up and wrapped up and trusting and believing him over what you know to be some factual statements online when you looked up people's records. I'm kind of wondering what is going on with you and why you so hungry for this particular dude. And you decided just, met him, you thought you put him in a level of perfection, and you just met him this morning. So it just shows me that you don't think you're not a very logical person. You're like caught up in your emotions and stuff. And that's not a good place to be for a woman your age. That's like teenage girl stuff. You're a young lady now, a young woman, and you need to be more astute about the men that you interact with, especially those that you meet on these swipey things. A lot of those dudes are criminals, just like you just met. They're criminals and they downplay their criminal behavior. And then the next thing you know, you on the news, missing, found in a shallow grave, stuff like that. You better be careful with this because you can't say you didn't know because you did. Question number 20, female 22 to 27 from the U.S. Summary of issue: I feel immense guilt having to tell a guy I'm not interested after he's taking me on several dates. I'm pretty new to dating, even though I'm in my mid-20s. I've been in 2 long-term relationships over the majority of my adult life. Since I've been dating around 2 months, I've gone on more than one date with only a few guys and never more than 2 dates except for with one person. Even after one date, I always make sure to let the person know where I'm at. I think ghosting has got to be one of the most effed up things that my generation does in the dating scene. I'm not in your generation, and I love to ghost people. Every time I ask my friends for advice about these things, they tell me to just ghost them, and I cannot bring myself to do that. So please don't suggest ghosting. It's not a solution for me. Then suffer, bitch. What the fuck you want me to do? You the one that wrote me for a solution. Then you'll try to tell me what I can't tell you? I'm going to say it. Ghost him. You just met the motherfucker. It's not like you in a relationship with him. You tripping. This particular guy has taken me on several dates and made a small comment once about how he's been spending money on me. Yeah, see? You stupid. I have tried to pay for some things and he won't let me. He always picks the dates, which I love, to be honest. The comment was harmless, and I generally don't think he meant anything by it. See? Stupid again. I don't feel like I am interested in furthering a relationship with this person any longer, and I feel immense guilt after he's taken me on several dates. We've been on 4. 3 were very casual, and 1 was pretty expensive. I know I just have to rip this Band-Aid off on this one, but the scenario brings up more of an existential crisis for me with dating. I don't foresee this being a problem with this one guy. I just feel like I should preface this next statement with the fact that I do want to find my person. I'm not trying to just casually date around for fun, but I also feel like I'm wasting someone's time and money if I'm just going to agree to dates just to find out that we aren't compatible several dates in, and it makes me feel guilty. I also like to add that my career keeps me busy and I don't prefer small talk texting. I just rather meet in person. Blah, blah, blah. Is this what dating is? I suddenly feel so much empathy for men in the dating world. I'd also like some advice on breaking things off after more than one date. How much of an explanation do I owe? Do people prefer short and sweet? Do I have to be apologetic? What if he asked me why and the reasons would hurt his feelings if I were honest? I hate it here. Dumb asshole. That's why everybody likes to ghost. All these last questions you ask, those are the very reasons. So you don't have to answer them. You stupid. I'm gonna tell you this though. Yes, that's what dating is. You spend time with the person, you get to know the person. You know, you talk to the person, you spend time around them, and your personalities gradually show. You have conversations, you learn about each other, you ask questions, they ask questions about you. That's what dating is. At some point, amongst those many opportunities to get to know this person, day 1, day 4, day 10, whatever, you will decide, or he will decide, that this is the right person or it's not. And it can happen anytime on any of those dates. Because sometimes it's going really good, and then date 3 happens, 4, 5, and they say something stupid. They come out of pocket with something crazy. You find out that they're married, got a woman pregnant. I mean, stuff happens. And so now all of a sudden the relationship changes because it's not what you thought it was. He's not what you thought he was, or you're not what he thought you were. At any point and at any time and for any reason, you can break it off. You don't owe him more time. He doesn't owe you either. So all you have to do is tell him, look, we spent a lot of time, and I feel, like I know you pretty well at this point. But I do have to let you know we're not going to go any more dates because I don't really feel like I don't feel like we're going to be compatible. You seem like a decent enough person, but not the person that I'm really looking for that will sync with me long term. So, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. I don't want to waste your time or money or anything like that. We've had some really good times. It was really good to get to know you. I enjoyed, the time I spent with you and talking to you and stuff. You're an interesting guy, but you're just not the man for me. If you can say that, then good for you. Most people don't want to be bothered because, as soon as you say that, what's going to happen? They want to argue with you about it. Well, why not? You just give me another chance. Well, I thought we were good together. And so then you get on the defensive and you have to explain your stance that you already explained, and you have to say the same shit over and over and over because people just don't know how to just take your thing what you say and just walk away with some dignity. They want to beg and grovel and whine and try to coerce you to continue to see them and act a fool. All kind of stuff goes on. That's why men get ghosted. They don't know how to say, okay, well, you're right. It's been great to get to know you too. I'm sad, but I'll move on. And you do the same. I hope you find what you're looking for. Click. If men would do that, then they would never get ghosted. But that's not how they act. So they get ghosted instead. But you don't want to ghost nobody, so you just suffer then. Shit. The hell you want from me? Question number 21. Female, 28 to 32. Male, 28 to 32. They're in the U.S. Time of issue. My boyfriend of 2 years snores bad, and I have reached my wit's end. We argued about it, and now he wants to move out, but I don't want him to. Why not? My boyfriend is 29, and I'm 29, and my boyfriend is 30. He snores so much and so loud, and she put that in caps and bold. We've been dating for 2 years, and we've been living together for about 6 months. The snoring has always been a strain on our relationship. Okay, so why did you move in with him then? Now you can't never get a good night's sleep. The snore, okay. I don't sleep well. It affects my mood and mental health. Resentment because he sleeps like a baby every night and I don't. In the beginning of our relationship, he would feel bad when I woke him up to tell him to roll over or something, and he would do it. Now he just tells me to shut up. Oh no, he got to get out. This past weekend, I hadn't been sleeping well throughout the week because of the snoring and was a walking zombie. Stressed about work and studying for my CPA, and it initiated this huge fight because he didn't care how I felt. He was just laughing at me, laughing in my face about my concerns, wouldn't put down his phone to listen, and kept scrolling on Instagram. So I got triggered because he wasn't taking me seriously, and I went smooth off. I couldn't control my emotions. I started saying, I hate you. Move out. You don't care about how this affects me. I can't sleep with you, etc. He tells me to go to the couch instead of him with the snoring problem, which, in my opinion, is extremely selfish. He hasn't had health insurance, so he really couldn't get a doctor treatment, but wasn't figuring out an alternative. He breaks up with me because of things I said in anger, and subsequently, a couple of days later, he gets health insurance cards in the mail. Since then, while having lived together, he's given me the silent treatment and tells me he's starting to find a new place and went to look at new places. I do not want him to move out, and I don't hate him. We have a healthy relationship besides the snoring and what stems from it. I tried telling him I was just so angry in the moment, but he said it was uncalled for, and this is literally just because he snores and needs a freaking CPAP. So I've been walking on eggshells around him every time I try to talk to him, and we both work remote, so we're always around each other in a one-bedroom apartment. He just tells me he doesn't care, he's done. I don't know how to get past this and how to get through to him to realize I don't want him to move. I don't hate him, but he won't talk to me. He won't even look at me. I'm giving him space, but I just don't know what to do. I don't know if he's just doing this to manipulatively punish me or if his threat to leave are real. All I've been waiting for is him to get health insurance for him to fix this. And now when he finally has, it's coincidentally when we get in this fight and he wants to leave. Okay. But see, everything that you said was how you felt. And now you're trying to backtrack because he took it and ran with it. You're supposed to help him pack his shit and move the fuck out. I can't be with a man who snores. I can't be looking like a walking zombie. I need my sleep. You know, when you don't get enough sleep, what it does to you mentally and physically, you start to have mental decline. You start to start having all kind of like mental illness type of things manifesting because your brain can't rest and recover. Do you know that physically your body never has recovery time? So you start having a lot of waste products in your body. Your skin gets rank, janky and stuff. You get lines. Sometimes women start losing their hair, all because they're not getting proper rest. So it's in your best interest for him to move out. You know, he's just a boyfriend. It's no big deal. Get another one. Shit. Yeah, that's to say Style by Chrissy say next exactly. Next with the quickness. And the CPAP machines do work. After my strokes, I had to get one. Because, you know, it's like, you know, when you have a stroke, like, okay, the stroke was on this side of my head, so it affects this half of my body. And so the muscles on this side of my neck and jaw are weaker than over here. And so you know, my cousins was saying I was like having sleep apnea because, you know, I was at her house for 2 months. And so she and I was laying on the couch and she said, kept stopping to breathe. And then I would snore because this side, you know, the muscles were so weak. And so I had to get a CPAP machine. So I don't know how long they make me use it, but I guess I'll find out, you know, till everything gets stronger. It takes about 2 years to fully recover from a stroke. So, you know, they're good things to have. I don't really like them. The old ones look like alien because they, you know, the alien thing would fit on people's. The old ones look like that. The new one, the one I have, it only goes right here, so it doesn't look like that. It looks like an oxygen clip or something, so it's not so bad. Wow. Question number 22. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. The young man is 20 to 34. Summary of issue. My boyfriend keeps interrogating me about sleeping with someone else. We've been together for almost 10 years. You've been dating somebody for 10 years? You're dumb. 2 years ago, I had to move because of great work opportunity. He didn't like it, but didn't say anything about it. He just stopped talking to me and answering my calls. Maybe it was premature, but after not getting in touch with him for 3 weeks, I assumed that it was over. About a month later, I started dating somebody else in a way both to get to know the people, but mostly to try to move on. I ended up meeting a guy twice and sleeping with him once. It didn't feel right, so I ended things after that. Maybe about 3 months after my move, my boyfriend reached out and we started seeing each other again. He went through all my Facebook messages. I'd forgotten to close my laptop when I went to work. Then he somehow saw this guy far down there, but it didn't mean anything special. After that, he constantly been bringing up how I, quote, cheated on him. And I understand that he needs to talk about it and try to be supportive, but I feel that there's a limit to how many times I can answer this question. It takes several hours out of a day, and I don't have the time for it. And the way he talks to me about it makes me uncomfortable. It's often the same question. Was he more trained than me? What positions did you do? Oh my. He's really ugly because you're not getting anything better. I honestly don't remember the day, and I don't want to think about it either. I've communicated several times if we're going to talk about this, we can just set aside X minutes, but he just keeps ruminating. I've also suggested that maybe he should find someone else to talk to about this. I get that the trust is broken, but I don't really see it being rebuilt by these conversations. I need advice for how we can work on moving past this. How much time can I expect this to be a case? It's a case because you keep answering this question and being all polite instead of being a bitch. So he asked you, was he more trained than me? Oh, yeah, he was hella good. It was a real struggle when you called to talk about getting back together for me to think about it. Now, even though that's not true because you had already ended, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just burst his bubble. He was excellent. This is fucking magical. The best ever. And what position did you do? We did everything. We went to the fucking ghetto Kama Sutra, and then we went to the Asian one. We just did it all. We did everything, and then we did it all again. Does you want to know how big it was? Let's talk about that since you don't want to keep dancing around the subject. It was bigger than yours, lasted longer than yours. His stroke game was on hit better than yours. Everything was better than you. So now, are you okay now? You got all your questions, your curiosity all answered. You want me to draw a picture of it? You want me to send you a photo of it? What is this? But see, that's how I do when they start asking them kind of questions. You know, they start at the starting lane. I'm already at the 200-yard line because I done filled all that gap in between with all kind of shit that hurt your feelings. I'm going to tell you all kind of stuff because you know what? You shouldn't have opened that gate. You shouldn't have asked that question. So now I'm going to tell you all kind of shit that's going to hurt your feelings and make you feel all inadequate and you know, like you lack, which you do. But see, that's why you never ask a woman about another man. At least you don't ask me. You don't ask a fire sign. Because we going to look at, is that what we doing? And I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to just hurt every feeling that you ever had because you shouldn't ask me that. That's inappropriate. That's outside your realm of, you know, what you should be talking about. So yeah, that would be my advice for you. Squash him. Just obliterate his ego. Just cream sauce his ass. Tell him all kind of shit. Make shit up. Find a picture online. Go on one of them like sweatpants sites on Facebook and download a picture and say, this is a picture I kept of him to remember it by. Yeah, don't ask me questions like that because I'm going to get you. My God, am I the only petty one around here? Am I the only one who's that petty? Because I sure would do that. Yeah, all his whittle with a W, all his whittle feelings. I just don't like this kind of stuff. See, you know, the thing about it is, I mean, I know this may sound crazy, but the basic premise for my position on this is a man should be a man. Okay, being a man does not mean act like a little whiny bitch. If they start doing this kind of stuff, that's whiny bitch shit. That's not manly. A man should have enough confidence in him and his stroke game and whatever else he got going on, that what other dudes did and said and was packing is irrelevant. That don't mean nothing. I mean, I'm glad it was good for you. I mean, you know what I mean? And obviously, I can't be the best at everything, the only one on the planet that's good. But I know I'm going to be the best for you. Come on over here, girl. Let's do this. That's what I would do. I would not be a dude who would fall prey to this kind of stuff. And if I didn't think my stroke game was on point, guess what I would do? I would read some books about female anatomy. I would read some books about how to make stuff better, how to make her hit the ceiling. That's what I'd be doing. I would be studying Nook like I was in a, you know, PhD program or something. I'm about to get my doctorate in fucking. That's what I'm going to do. So I don't understand these dudes who go and do this kind of stuff and act all weak and stupid, and then a woman loses respect for them. You can't respect a man who acts like this. Well, at least I can't. You're going to be comparing yourself to other men and just asking all these kind of stupid baby-ass questions. That's a turnoff. I want you to display some confidence and some masculinity and some personal fortitude and some strength. I want you to be like, yeah, baby, well, I'm glad that was good for you. I'm glad that was good for you. Now, come on over here and let me show you what excellent for you is like. So, you know, I'm going to make you forget all about that motherfucker. You're going to be like, who, what? I mean, I'll be talking to someone, you know, just talk shit to her. Women like that, but you got to be able to back it up. This kind of stuff here, this is a turnoff. I wouldn't want to be bothered with him ever again. Question number 23. We got 25 questions, so we're near the end. This is a young lady in 18 to 21 age group from Canada. So I have an issue. My boyfriend keeps going through my phone. What should I do? For some context, we started dating just 5 months ago, but have known each other and been friends for years. When we first started talking, he had asked me how many people I had been with. I was completely open, you idiot, and honest, but didn't name names because it doesn't really matter. And I'm just the type of person who doesn't care about every detail and who, what, where, when, and why, and so on. However, a few months later, I found out he went through my old journal and also went through my phone behind my back, which caused him to find out who the person was. I don't really care because I didn't do anything wrong in my relationship and I haven't cheated, have zero intentions to, etc. But it makes me feel weird that he goes through my personal things without me knowing, especially my journal, because that's a space where I write anything I'm feeling, even if it may not be true. He accused me of lying to him, which I understand as far as I wasn't completely open. But at the same time, I felt this was something that happened prior to us being together. So I felt I really didn't do anything wrong. However, I still apologize. You dummy. I am doing my best to be open and helping him become more trusting of me. But yesterday I woke up and felt very anxious energy in the air as I was with him. I asked if everything was okay and he said yes. Today I went in my camera roll and see screenshots of old texts with my friends. Just random shit I'm saying to him before he and I were together. It makes me feel weird that after all the conversation and apologies we've had, that he's still doing stuff behind my back. I get why he feels the need to, but at the same time, it's behind my back on purpose. I feel like he does not trust me and it makes me quite uncomfortable. He's an amazing person. I do love him very much. I don't want to break up over this, but I need some perspective. Something you should break up over. What is it that you think this means? He's violated your boundaries and just trampled your privacy. And then he doesn't trust you. How can you be with a man who doesn't trust you? And then I want to ask your stupid ass, why did somebody ask you how many you've been with? You know what you're supposed to tell them? That's none of your fucking business, sir. You worry about who I'm going to be with from now on. And you better lay that pipe right, or it's going to be somebody else and you, or somebody else instead of you. Now, that's all the fucking shit your ass need to know about my nook life. You better get it popping. Be dealing with these dudes like that and feeding their little egos and saying and letting them know stuff that they ask you stupid ass questions. You fucked up. You should have never answered that question. And then why you take me honest? Y'all kill me with that shit. Yeah, then it's like, why are you leaving your stuff laying around? It should be locked up in a safe. Every woman should have a safe in her house. A safe. Put all your shit in it. Your passport, your birth certificate, your social security card, your insurance certificates, who's your beneficiaries and all that kind of stuff. Your what's that thing? Your directive for the hospitalization. All that should be in your safe. Any bank books you got should be in your safe. Most people do their stuff online, but some people still have bank books, checkbooks, stuff like that. It should be in your safe. You should not have the stuff laying around where they can see it. And your journal should also be in your safe. So you just leaving stuff laying around, just asking for trouble. Oh yeah, a safe at home is no, you got to have it at home, at your house. And if you own your house, you can have it mounted like in the closet to a stud and stuff. If you don't own your place, then you can still get one, and it can, it's just portable, but still they can't get in it. I don't trust men who snoop like that. Because I'm like, what you trying to find out? And if you snooping on me, that means you the one that got something to hide. And that's how they did. They project. Men project. So when they're stupid trying to find dirt on you, they're the ones with the dirt. Because people who are trustworthy don't feel the need to distrust other people. So every time somebody tells me that they do that kind of stuff, I know they got some dirt in their history. Because if you're a trustworthy person, you automatically assume that other people are too. And you don't need to snoop and stuff. If you some rogue ass, stupid, lying motherfucker, then you the time that's going to accuse everybody else of being like you. We hold that mirror up to yourself. So that's what you got. Question number 24. My boyfriend thinks that, she's 22 to 20. Oh, they're both 22 to 27. My boyfriend thinks that the $4,000 I loaned him is an investment in our relationship. Wait, you gave somebody $4,000? I won't give a motherfucker $4. This is interesting. We're in our mid-20s. We dated for a year and a half. Before I met him, I lived extremely frugally and built up a savings of $20,000. Now I have about $4,000 of it left. I don't want to cast the blame on him. I made poor financial decisions in this relationship. In the span of our relationship, I was laid off from 2 jobs, and I didn't say no to eating out and other purchases. I'm working a low-wage job now, just $18 an hour, and live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. I moved to his city within a few months of dating, and we got a place together. He quit his job, so I had to cover the first 2 months of rent and security deposit, which we did not get back until he found work. A year later, we moved to a new city for his career aspirations, which has a higher cost of living. Again, I had to cover the first 2 months of rent and security deposit until he found a job. In total, he owes me roughly $4,000 in rent. I thought I was loaning him the money until he got steady enough to pay me back, and every now and then he'll get into an argument about it. Last night, I once again brought it up in my low savings. One of the key solutions for me is to get a more high-paying job, which I'm actually looking for. But in the meantime, I told him I'm no longer living above my means. I need to go back to my frugal lifestyle, which he disagrees with. He doesn't want to scrimp and save now because he believes that in a few years we'll be in a much better financial situation once our careers take off. I brought up the money I loaned him and asked if he would sign a repayment agreement. He flipped out at the word loan. He was extremely offended and insisted I wasn't loaning him money. I was investing in our relationship. And just like an investment, I need to let it mature and grow. I can't expect it all back at once. And asked him to sign a contract mean I didn't trust him or have faith in the relationship. No, motherfucker, I don't trust you. You dumb as hell. In addition, he's thinking about proposing soon and wants to join finances, so we're in this together. He doesn't think that he technically owes me anything. I'm honestly in disbelief, and although I love him, I feel like we're not financially compatible. I assumed that covering his rent was a loan and that I would get it back. Even more so, he has said he can't make monthly payments to me because he has a few vacations planned with his friends. Yes, he's been working hard and deserves these vacations, but I basically feel like I'm funding trips that I'm not invited on. Wow. And you don't see how you're getting used here. You don't. I feel trapped. I make $2,500 a month. We live in an apartment that's $2,100 a month. If we break up, there's no way I can afford this on my own. I can't get another roommate because it's a one bedroom. I have 8 months of this lease left. Should I stay for the next X months because of our lease? Try to talk to the landlord about breaking the lease? I love him really, and we have so many great memories. But I think that our financial and maturity levels are too different. And the longer I stay, the more resentment I'll build. Yes, talk to the landlord and tell him that, your financial situation has changed, that you're going to have to move out. You're not sure if the boyfriend is going to stay or not, but that was something that, the landlord can talk to him about. But you'll be out by the end of the month because the rent is already paid through May, and then you'll be out by the end of the month. You can just go rent a room somewhere in somebody's house or something. Probably like way less than $1,000. So you'll be able to save that way. You'll save on utilities. You'll save on food. You'll save on a lot of things that you're paying for him that you're not getting really going to get back. And unfortunately, I hope like these things where you texted about the money that you were putting forth on his behalf, that you have some kind of written documentation that shows that. Him acknowledging that saying you invested, saying no, that was not our agreement. Our agreement was that you were going to pay me back, and now you're trying to renege on it. You put that in a text. So you can go take him to small claims court since he's got a job. He got money to go on vacations. He got money to pay you back. So you need to move out and then file a small claim case on him. When you get your judgment, you can attach his wages and get your money before he even gets his. And you can put a lien on his bank account too. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group, male, same age group. Me and my girlfriend have some fundamental issues on money. Another money question. She is very judgmental regarding my spending. Me and S have been dating for a very long time and are looking to get engaged soon. Dude, when you have fundamental differences in money, that's not somebody that you marry. What's wrong with you? Other than these money issues, she's absolutely amazing. We both are very fortunate to have high-paying jobs. So it's definitely not a money issue. I would 100% get it if we were living paycheck to paycheck, but we make almost 7 figures combined and are very likely to surpass it by a wide margin in the near future. We also have similar backgrounds in that we're both raised by immigrant parents who didn't have much money initially, so we grew up having to save. There are several issues. First, I have several niche, unconventional hobbies that are quite expensive. I'll fully admit that I spend an obscene amount of money, 5 to 6 figure sums, on Magic the Gathering cards and Lego. She rags on me for wasting money, but I feel like the satisfaction and mental wellness I get from collecting is worth it due to how stressful my job is. She just thinks it's nerdy and I'm wasting money. However, when she spends money on stuff that she likes, it's no big deal. Admitted, she doesn't spend as much on hers hobbies as I do on mine. But what's annoying is that if I spend money if I spend an obscene amount of money on shoes, sports tickets, or bourbon, my other hobbies, she doesn't care. It's like she's upset with the fact that I'm blowing a lot of money. It's the fact that I'm spending it on nerd stuff instead of more conventional hobbies where I feel like I should be able to spend my money on my hobbies. Deb, I don't judge her for spending money on her hobbies, makeup and clothes. So it's annoying when I get judged. I think part of it, she cares about what other people think more than I do. Plus, I see myself as an XYZ professional who happens to have nerdy hobbies, but feel like she sees me as a nerd who is somehow good at XYZ profession. Secondly, we had a disagreement in terms of spending and hoarding. We both work hard for our incomes, and I feel like I've earned the privilege to be lazy piece of shit at home so I can enjoy my life. I like eating out, hiring a maid, a yard cleaner, etc. Essentially, I'm a huge proponent of paying for convenience so we can enjoy our free time and not do chores. Her, on the other hand, would rather save. We both have a solid retirement account and emergency money at the ready. But like money doesn't follow us when we die, and in my mind, I didn't spend so long in school just to have to mow my lawn and stuff. She argues that you can't throw money at problems and expect them to go away. But in my mind, that's exactly how our world works. I'm also a fan of deferring to experts. I'll never be good at finances as a financial advisor, so why not just hire one? I'll never be as good at cooking as a chef, so why not just eat out? We all have strengths and weaknesses, and I think for the best results, let the experts do their thing. These are just some of the issues. I think we have a fundamental disagreement on money and choice. How should we best address this? Other than these two issues, she's perfect. Would you have to tell her to shut the fuck up? See, you let her have too much conversation about what you do with your money. You're not married, and I would not recommend that you get married. And even if you do make that fatal mistake, keep your money separate from hers. Don't merge funds. You'll be sorry if you do that. And I just don't, you may say other than this, she's perfect. This is a basic value system. And the fact that she puts you down because of it. So she's like disrespecting you, denigrating you, and taunting you and trying to be bossy and control how you spend the money that you make. Sir, if you go through with this marriage, you're an idiot. You're just a big dummy. I would not recommend this at all. That would be a mistake. So you think about this. You wrote like a book here about how this woman's attitude about your money impacts you. And I'm telling you, this is a mistake. If you go forward with this relationship and marry this woman, it would be a gross error in judgment. You do what you want to do with the money that you make, and that's what you need to tell her. Say, look, bitch, I'm not telling you what to do with your goddamn money, and you don't tell me. I will buy whatever the fuck I want to buy because it's my money. Nobody goes to work and makes his money but me. So I want you to shut the fuck up from here on out. You don't say shit to me about what I buy. You don't even make a frowny face because it's not your goddamn business. That's what you need to tell her. I don't know why y'all, you guys be just so, just a little bit too nice to these women. You just let them run you. There's no way in this world I would have taken this. She would have said something the first time. I would have said, shut the fuck up. So when you go to my job and make my paycheck, then your bitch ass can tell me what to do with my money. Until then, you don't say shit. Go there and buy your fucking purses and shoes and whatever the fuck you want to buy. And I'm going to buy what I want to buy. And that's how we going to live this. And you're not going to say nothing. And whatever I buy, you going to like it. And if you don't like it, you still going to shut the fuck up about it. That's what you're going to do. And that's what I would have told her. Dude, I'm just amazed that you have not checked this broad. You make is it me? Am I the problem? I'm like, I just like look at these guys and it's like, where did manhood go? Why are you guys so weak about these women? And you don't put them down and put them in their place and just let them be popping off at the mouth telling you what to do and how to do it. And it's your money. It's not hers. You're not married. You don't respond to her. And she has no input into your money at all, ever. There's no opinion of hers that should have anything to do with what you're doing. And you just letting her spout off at the mouth and give her unasked for opinion to the point where you're going to write a letter to me about it instead of cussing her bitch ass out.
Bruh.
That's what you should have done, sir. You're messing up. You're messing up. So anyway, that's our crazy column for today. I don't even know what to say. These people are just be tripping big time. So that's it. This weekend is Mother's Day weekend, so we're not gonna have a show. I'm not gonna be here. I'm going up to the cousins so we can have our Mother's Day celebration or whatever we're gonna do. I don't know. And then but we'll be back next Wednesday. So if you want to submit a question, so try to get your question on the show. Be brave though. Don't be coming up here thinking that it's gonna be a kumbaya moment and somebody's gonna coddle you and all this stuff. Only the brave write this channel. So you look right there, debsterism.com on the bottom of your screen, navigate over to that website and click the button that says get advice. Or you can go in the show description down below. And same place, just click the link and it will take you right where you need to be. All right. So I will see you guys. Thanks for popping in and visiting with me and laughing in the chat room and having yourself a good old time. It's always a good time for me too. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye, Shay. Bye, everybody.